I typically tell people that more than half the work occurs before you actually sit down at the negotiating table. And there's 4 big buckets to put it in. The first is about learning as much as you can about your partner, using publicly available information in your network to understand what are their interests and how do they behave and how have past partnerships worked. All of this is quite relevant to what you need to discuss as issues in the negotiation. Secondly is preparing your negotiation playbook. And that is figuring out what's important to you, what's likely going to be important to your partners, what kind of options do you have to satisfy those, what arguments do you have to support the legitimacy of the positions that you think you're going to need to take, and perhaps most importantly, what's your alternative if you can't get to a negotiated agreement with this partner? What is the walkaway, if you like, if it just doesn't look like it's going to work? The third bucket is what I call shaping the environment. And there's a certain amount you can do to improve your position at the negotiating table. Improving the noise level about your product or service that you're talking about licensing. Shaping the negotiation around key issues through public statements from your executive officers, for example. And you understand, I'm not talking about the logistics of the negotiation room and whether the lights are in the eyes of the other party. It's all about improving your position. The last area in all of this is making sure that you understand who's going to be negotiating for the other party, and then you select and train your negotiation team with that in mind as well. Not so much that it's focused on the other negotiator, but what I'm saying is that you want to make sure that your team is matched in terms of the level of authority at the table, that your team members understand what they can and can't do when they're at the negotiating table, and they understand the importance of confidentiality, often very important when you're working with a publicly traded organization. Attention to those 4 elements will put you in a really good position as you step up to the negotiating table.